Hi everybody, welcome to the show about the APB vision, vision of APB for APB players or certain APB players. I'm gonna make a series of these things, so it's not the first one. I will look for other people who are interested in actually talking about these things more in depth. But here is the first one. This was with Proxy TV and Reigns. I hope you guys enjoy. We had a technical issue with my voice, but I hope you will enjoy further what has been said. Thanks for watching and see you next time.
I'm a back-to-back world champion of APB tournaments back when the game was irrelevant. Also a big-time content creator, massive streamer, and yeah, just an authority figure in the game design overall.
Fuck, my mic was muted, my bad. Was I actually talking the whole time? What? It starts good. Welcome everybody. My introduction was screwed up by my mic. Welcome everybody. We are going to talk about certain stuff in APB, the vision of APB. Give me a second, because I am going to do about. We are going to talk about the progress of APB, the visions that people had or have, the thoughts, ID processes of all these steps that APB needed to actually progress in the whole wide APB lore and stuff. And we will go into certain details of or debates on certain topics. We have a whole list of topics that we can actually talk about. If it doesn't get to the end, it doesn't get to the end, but we will actually try to talk actually on a lot of these things. If people are interested in debating with us, you can always do so in chat. So far, so good. We are waiting for Reigns, another person who played APB, but he hasn't been here yet. So I would actually want to start actually with the first topic then. We already heard Proxy talk about his stuff or who he is, and there we go. Proxy also doesn't have a cam right now, so he can't use it right now. So yes.
Sorry about that, boys.
So, for the start, APB is one of the games that I personally find the best game in the world. I have no idea what Proxy thinks about the game. Anything?
What do you mean? In like, that's a very broad question. What
Yes,
do you mean, like
APB.
specifics, or?
What do you think of APB, like as a game in total? Like,
As a game, it's one of the better concepts of games that I've like ever played. Just falling very flat with a lot of lost potential and a lot of neglect from developers over a long period of time.
and what are the steps that you actually find lacking on this matter, if I can ask?
I mean, the game has been, ignored for a better part of like 10 years, right? So
Yes.
there's a lot to catch up on. You can really feel how unmodern the game is right now.
Yes.
Which is why I haven't played the game for, I don't know, 6 months now or something.
I can totally understand those stakes. I definitely can understand those stakes. If you have questions for me, you can also ask questions to me. Like I don't really have any questions set up. I just have segments I can do.
What about the same question for you, man? What do you think about the game right now?
The best game ever. Like I can't lie, it's the best game ever. Like for me, it's always been the best game ever. It's always on my top one. It
Even
doesn't
with all the flaws?
even without the flaws. Yes,
It's pretty wild.
that's pretty wild. The problem is right now, and yes, I would like to go back to the stages of APB when it was actually relevant and interesting to actually play. But these steps, what have been causing me to actually go away right now a bit, is just I don't really know what is actually happening. Like there is too much question or cloud hanging around in a gray area that I don't really see happening or didn't saw happening ages ago.
You mean like you don't know what the devs are doing with it currently and where it's going?
I can see where the devs are actually struggling, and I can see the devs actually having an issue with the steps that they want to take. I just don't see the matter of possibilities at this moment hanging in the cloud where it would actually stop being relevant. If that makes
I
sense.
mean, play base steadily going down, right? And
Yes, player base is steadily. Actually, it's keeping the same, but with a 300 player base on maximum days, like you have a scale of 100 to 300 for Europe. On NA, it's probably 25 or maybe 4 till 100 maximum. Like you don't really have actually the scale of players at all in the game. Like that's already one of the big issues. So advertisement would be actually a needed process for the game. But
I don't think it's in a state to be advertised though. Like, sure, they have a new like I guess game design intern who's supposed to be the new game designer to take the approach of like where the actual gameplay should be going, and I think that's a step in the right direction to actually have someone that cares and has a vision for the game in the future. It's pretty important.
wouldn't that be actually dynamics? The
What?
dynamics that need to change. The dynamics of the game, like gameplay dynamics.
I don't think so. Here's the thing: there's a whole lot of friction in the game. I would say there just should be in the game that just hasn't been put in the game. Like I don't know, always sprint that should have been in the game since I don't know day one almost, and there's a lot of balance issues that, of course, like a game this old, it needs to have a fluid meta. Like I would prefer if there was a major meta shakeup every month, like a couple of numeric tweaks every month to at least make the game not stale, because it's very very stale. You're playing the same game for 10 years. It feels like.
I have been playing the same game for 10 years, like no doubt. Lol. But yeah, somebody is saying active is the same as play once a week at least. Is that true? Would you actually say that is active?
Uh, I don't know. That's like weekend warrior type of deal. Like someone who plays once per weekend. I'm not even sure they're like that relevant. I'm not sure. I would need to actually look at statistics, which I don't have.
Actually, okay, if you want to be a relevant player or an active player, the only way to actually have an active player base is actually playing every day. Like at this point, APB players need to actually play every day. That's the way to actually be active. If you want to actually be a weekly streamer or a weekly player, yeah, I can actually go into those segments of weekly distribution.
Yeah, I feel like the people
But
are
there is
actually
nothing
left in the
like,
game.
yes.
The people are actually left in the game, or the people that play at least like four different times per week, and that's like their main game almost.
Yeah,
And I don't know, it's unmodern.
it's Unmodern. I can't
Yeah,
I can't really see that in that way. Let me say it like that. I don't see the unmodern way because you cannot actually say, okay, you guys play this game 5 days a week. That's not possible. Like you cannot force a person to play actually a game. Okay, if there were more
there's
things
no
to do, then
incentivation to
maybe.
like play either. There's no like, there's nothing new to unlock for the people that are actually playing. Like the people that are actually playing are people that play pretty much every single day. That's what
Yes.
I get the feeling of, and they have nothing really to play for. There's no content to unlock. There's nothing. There's no new meta. It's pretty autistic in a sense of they know what to expect and everything. It's never a new experience booting up. And for me, that's pretty much been the point of APB, that every mission is supposed to be pretty unique because it's different spots, different dynamics with different people and shit. But it's just so stale that, you know, it might as well be Dust 2.
The dust is damn big, to be honest, or ambitious. Um, okay, I'm just going to go to the next subject that I actually had. Should a game focus on maintaining the balance between law enforcement and criminal gameplay? Or is it acceptable to favor one side for the sake of gameplay dynamics?
Well, I think I've made my opinion pretty public. I think the whole faction thing is cool, but it's just flavor. It shouldn't be a core aspect of the game, at least not anymore. If we have 300 people playing, that means we split this group into two. So 150 people that can potentially face versus another 150, right? But then there's a skill bracket. So it's like, okay, you can potentially get to play versus what, 50 different people? That's
Yes.
kind of stale. That's kind of dead.
Okay.
So I think
The modern
remove
thing.
factions
Okay. Remove
and
factions.
just keep them as like just the flavor of different cosmetics basically, and you can just get opt versus anyone in any faction, and even like a mix on your team of like two enforcers and two criminals when you ready up, because then you can get more matchmaking, more random matches, and I think it would make the game so much better.
Um, yeah, true. There's definitely changes that need to actually happen in the game. Like that's totally true. Um, the aspect of actually criminal and enforcer, like a lot of people actually focus on criminal and enforcer as two factions, and they want to actually keep these things together, right? Like they want to actually keep their game together. Most of the people.
Yeah, but those 4 or 5 people, sure, they can have their opinion, but that doesn't make that doesn't make it worth it for to have like 2 or 3 people's actual opinion. Like, no, we need to stick to the lore. We can't have criminals fighting criminals or enforcers fighting enforcers. Like, sometimes you just gotta suck it up and admit that, shit needs to move on.
To be honest, the lore is dead. Like the lore is totally dead.
Yeah, those 10 people that cared about the lore, they're gonna have to move on.
I'm the one who cares about the lore, but they actually invented Riot, and Riot actually says there's no cops or criminals anymore. So the lore is actually gone. Like there is no cops and criminals anymore with the invention of Riot. But that's beside the point, I think. But yeah, I totally agree that it can be interesting to see a point of um, characters as cosmetic as level up possibility. I would have no issue with, okay, this person can now connect to this group or something, and then with those groups they can actually connect with playing with each other and stuff, and it goes into a circle or something. Like I feel contacts that we have right now can actually utilized into something more and something more gang style. if that's okay. I don't know
Yeah.
how they can actually shift it.
If
Fast
they
enough.
open up for cross-faction stuff, they could even, instead of introducing like new contacts, for instance, they would need to make one enforcer and then one criminal, and then another one enforcer, one criminal. They could just make one that is for both. And
So you actually have one character and you can actually switch between cops and criminals.
I mean, that could be one solution, but I think that's, I don't know, extra work. Just the fact of matchmaking, that,
No,
yeah, cross-faction
okay,
matchmaking.
like cross faction. Okay, cross faction is like how we have it now. Is cross faction, right?
We don't have cross-faction matchmaking right now, no. So what we have right now is that you're isolated to your faction, you're isolated to being enforcer, and you can only play versus criminals, right?
Okay.
Cross-faction would mean that we can have any group with any faction, and the faction should be purely cosmetic. So yeah, you get a Bishada instead of the Jericho, and you get a Micro instead of, and so on and so on.
So, for
Just different
example,
looks.
for guns, less than lethal for
Yeah,
everyone.
honestly. Okay, so my take on Less Than Lethal is that they're pretty much purely used to abuse new players and bad players to never come back to the game. That's been the one fucking purpose for years now. Like, sure, it's a cool thing that you can do LTL and whatever, but I don't think it's good for the game.
Would you say that criminals can also use LTL at that point?
No, I would just say remove it. It's a dated concept that doesn't really add anything to the game.
Cosmetics. That's what it adds. It
Like
adds
cosmetics,
cosmetics.
sure, but
But
just
then you're
doesn't
also
have a
removing the stun gun,
place. Yeah,
right?
it just doesn't have a place in the game as of now. Because, like, realistically, if you're playing like 4v4, both teams are of equal skill, you would not
Okay.
just swap onto LTL. However, if you were, I don't know, 2v2, then you probably might want to play LTL because it's so much more punishing. Or if you're playing versus people that are a lot worse than you, it's free already. So instead of playing your standard M tech that you've been playing for 10 years straight, you just swap onto a CCG and fucking harass someone until they stop playing the game, pretty much.
I see, I see. Like, I wouldn't actually remove LTL. I would actually add more to the criminal, to be honest. Like, the aspect of having less than lethal is basically the stun effect in the game. Maybe make the stun effect more difficult, so you need to actually be more tactical to actually play with an LTL. That's something I would add, but I would actually also add the way of arresting, the cops arrest people, like the criminals can actually take a hostage, for example. Like
I
I
mean,
would
yeah, sure.
actually add towards what the one can do that the other can do also. Like
The thing
um,
is, the game is just not balanced around LTL. So when LTL was introduced in R2W, there was modifications for around stamina instead of HP, and that has been removed. So you don't have um, like a clotting agent 3, but for stamina, for instance. So the game just isn't built around this as a mechanic at
that's just
all.
adding. You need to then just add against those weapons.
Isn't that just clunky? So you see your enemy suddenly equips LTL, and you're like, oh, I need to go to somewhere where or I need to pop my ammo box to then swap to instead of clotting agent 3, stamina region 3 or whatever, and it just, I don't know, it just creates this.
Like I would love to actually see the LTL stuff work in the game. Like I personally, I find it kind of unique that LTL is actually a fact in the game. I would like to see it built in a certain way that it is actually possible as a gun that can be utilized in a fair way. Like you have the OPGL stuff. The OPGL of the radius of the stud OPGL is quite bigger than the OPGL we have right now. The normal OPGL. But it's probably the stun that you cannot really protect against the stun if somebody is actually stunning you. You know?
Yeah.
Like maybe a
I
clothing
just
agent, yeah, I can totally understand that you need a stun clothing agent or something, like something for actually not getting that fast stunned or something.
here's the thing with the limited amount of effort that LO wants to put into the game, I don't think it's viable to do anything other than remove it from the game if you want to have like I don't know a better gameplay experience. Sure, they could rework LTL, they could add it to criminals, but then they would need to do a lot of changes overall, everything, um, which is a lot of work for what I think is something that doesn't add to the game for anyone anyway. Sure, maybe you could have it as a part of like beacon events or like Fight Club events or whatever, that suddenly everyone gets to use LTL. Could be cool, but as of now, I don't think it's worth the time or effort to do LTL.
Can I ask the what you actually see under the name All Points Bulletin, actually, with all that said, the context or the background that you actually see within the next few years if you do the updates towards it's a working concept.
I mean, I think they need to focus on what the game does well and try to cut away all the things that are just feel like added onto like an afterthought. Like focus on getting some good meta that is sort of constantly changing with numeric changes over time, so that it's actually every month that you play, there is going to be some numeric changes, and you get a better game that is less stale and less focus on things that don't actually matter to the majority of the player base. Sure, there is going to be people like, I don't know, 10% of the player base that care about LTL.
Yeah,
But
I'm not talking only about LTL,
yeah.
but
As an example.
yes.
And just focus on removing friction points. Like, before you can rework it, like remove VIP missions, for instance. Right now, they aren't really fun for anyone.
They are added again, right? In the last
I
update?
believe they are. I don't know.
Yeah.
They didn't play when they were removed or whatever. It's just a
Totally
flawed
aware of it.
concept. Okay, so instead of having these bad things in the game that make people don't want to play the game, remove them and focus on what people do enjoy playing. And then you can, as a sideline, like think about, okay, so VIP, it's not just a matter of fixing it. You need to rework it from the ground. Like either have two-way VIP, but okay, then this is going to be two VIPs across the entire map. There's so many issues involved with it. Or like
True.
takeouts. Mechanically, in a game like this, having permanent wall hack on people just doesn't make for good gameplay. So I just hope that they focus on what people
Okay.
do find fun.
Permanent wall hack, okay. Never mind. Yeah, understandable. Like a lot of stuff like is half baked in the game. I can totally see that, and I experienced it probably too. In that, would it be boring if there was constantly death matches at the end of the game?
I think so, yes, because the entire point of APB, at least to me and the people that I've played with, is that it's not just a like Call of Duty TDM Fight Club game. It's an
Yes.
objective-based shooter. So even if you go 0-7, like literally James Bond on the scoreboard, you have 0 kills. You can still win if you are good enough at like doing objectives and all of that, and like body blocking while your teammate is doing an objective. It's not about the kills in the end. It's about team play to get objectives done.
Okay.
And TDM as a final stage and takeouts is the exact opposite of what the entire game is.
I see. I see. I see. In missions, like we have missions, like we were talking about fit missions and stuff. Missions in the particular name of we have several missions, and we have a story to go through. And if the cops stop you at a defending mission, then it's actually over. Do you
Yeah.
see a vision, or would there be actually a call inwards for having all the missions played out until the end?
I mean, yeah, maybe there's a lot of mission tweaking that I
Like
believe should be done.
you have like 4 missions that you do, and right now, if you actually win on the second mission, the other 2 missions are not played at all.
Yeah,
Would
you
it
can one stage
be
someone. Yeah.
would it be that all the stages are done, and then you actually look who's actually winning compared to all the stages that actually have been
Honestly,
through the thing?
I think it's fine because at the end of the day, it is gonna be pretty much always like one team defends, one team attacks. That's pretty much how it's gonna be until the final stage, right? Pretty much
Yeah,
always gonna be one team attacking, one team
totally,
defending, and even if
totally.
you win at defending, yeah, then you win pretty much. But it's a bit too easy to defend right now, so I think there should be reworks in the actual missions instead to like, let's say that you need to do 3 spray holds, right? So you need to spray all these 3 to progress to the next stage. So you get 2 done. And now suddenly, everyone in the enemy team is just locking down this one final point and you can't progress. So maybe instead do like you need to do 2 out of 3 so that they need to split up to actually defend more. I don't know,
There's definitely work that can be actually done, and I wouldn't mind a setting where you can actually have multiple things and not just one. Like after one mission, you actually are in the game and you just lose it because of a stupid second that actually happened. That can happen, and then the game is already done. Like I don't really see the missions that are right now being played need to stop after one mission because you had an unlucky modem or something.
I
Like,
just think it should be easier to attack in general. Uh, that it's not the issue of the like you can win on one stage one for me. The issue is then the game balance. Why did the first team like why did they not manage to break through stage one? It shouldn't maybe then be that stage one is easy, and then the next stage maybe it's a bit harder, and so on and so on.
yeah, it's just a vision and a possibility
Yeah.
that can actually happen. Like, you have certain games that actually go through the steps, and you have like APB who actually stops at the first step. It's just the steps that are emerged
What do you
or leveled.
what do you
Yes.
think of final stages that are like TDM, like takeouts and
Um,
stuff?
I have no issue with TDM. Like TDM can also always be interesting. Vips, yes, Vips is bugged. And what I would actually do is we have the from Riot we have the district circles, right? Where the gas goes boom from back in the day, and it was only for a certain area. Like the VIP cannot leave the certain area and keep the VIP actually in a certain area.
Okay.
That's what something that I would do. Like you don't, you can still drive around
Would
with
you
block and
still give
stuff.
wall hacks then to the VIP so they don't get to play or
No, like they need to actually. Okay, wall hacks.
to me VIP any end stage that gives you wall hacking
I think
onto any player is
okay,
bad.
okay, wall hacks is bad, 100% sure. But I would make it that VIP. You know that a person is there, but I would actually give it as a ping every
Yeah,
several
pulses.
things, like
Right.
pulses that show okay he was there, and then 5 seconds later or 10 seconds later he's there. 10 seconds later he's there. That would be fine for me.
So what we're
But
talking about right now would be a complete rework of the mission,
yes, totally.
right? So would you agree until that is done, they should remove VIP? Do you think so?
I can agree on that one. Like,
Yeah. I
or
don't
they need
think
to
there's a
actually
lot of people
make
that
double VIP.
disagree.
Or they need to make double VIP. Like I have no problem with double VIP.
Double VIP would probably just end up with 2 people driving on different ends of the district.
Yes, but that would be the equivalent of it, and that's why I would say keep them actually in what you have in the Riot as like the district or not the small spaces of.
Yeah.
I can
Sometimes
get on the name.
when something is fundamentally broken by design, it's better to
Disappear.
like
Let it disappear and work on it later.
yeah.
But
Yeah,
I'm not going to say that they need to work on it right now and stuff. Like have already enough stuff to work on. Like
exactly.
these are things that are actually potential and stuff. Like I don't want to actually give them right now more work to actually think about and stuff. It's maybe for them something handy for in the future, maybe if they want to actually listen to this and stuff.
Yeah.
That's that. Okay, so we talked about gameplay basically in total.
Yeah, but I'm sure
Um,
there's more stuff about gameplay.
I'm just going to try to actually get all the steps going. I will do another thing with other people when they come. um, so yeah, I just want to go over several things in general, basically, because APB has a lot to offer, and it's not only gameplay. It also has all the stuff that can be talked about. Uh, hopefully, like graphics and design. Like, what's your opinion about it? About graphics and the design?
By graphics, do you mean that like actual graphics or
Not
just
gameplay
design?
wise. Not gameplay wise.
So personally, I think like I love playing in the game with like config and stuff. So if the textures all look like all clay, you know,
You're a potato
solid
player. I
color,
get it.
I really enjoy that because to me, if I'm spending 8 hours in a row playing it, it's just easier in the eyes and it's easier for to actually see your opponents in all of that. It's just way smoother for me at least.
Like,
But of course, I don't know. I see a value in having the game look very good as well.
um, okay. I am against configs. I have been against configs for a long time. Everybody knows that I play vanilla in APB. I always have played vanilla in APB, unless I couldn't actually play with my graphics card, but that was an issue with APB too. At that point, like now we have the 64-bit, now it needs to be actually fixed. I have no idea if still people are having issues with their graphics card and stuff to play it, yeah, native or vanilla and stuff. Um, Personally, back in the day, I would actually said people who using configs are cheating. Like they removing fog, they removing certain elements that can blurry your field, that are just getting away from the place, like removing a car and stuff, or
Yeah,
removing
there
smoke and
there
stuff.
were potential exploits to it, but I think comparing like a legit config to make the game look the way you feel that it uh, betters your experience of the game is one thing, but it's another thing when you bring in like no small smoke particles, no muzzle flashes, and all of that, but which is now supported, in the game itself. Like there were exploits before for sure, but I don't know. I feel like bringing in the exploits isn't really a fair.
Like, okay, don't be offended if you actually use potato graphics or anything. I'm just calling them potato graphics. Like if you use configs and stuff. Like everybody plays on their own game, their own wish, and their own spirituality of things. But for me, if I actually play a game, I need to actually have visual. I cannot play a game that has just nothing in the room, you know. And if I would actually play on no configs, I would actually say I don't like the game anymore. I'm just going to quit. But that's just a personal feeling. Like right now, if you actually play Call of Duty, you can't go in bad graphics, I think, or in graphics like APB has. Like, yeah, you can make it smaller and low, but it still looks good.
Thing is, APB is ancient, right?
Yes,
Call of Duty games that came out current year, of course they're gonna look the way they look. It's the same with, the finals. They're a modern game. Like they just look the way they look.
yes. Like that's the biggest problem that I had actually with the bad graphics. Like I have nothing against people who actually use it and stuff anymore. Back in the day I had. Um,
For
it just
customization, though, if you would touch on that subject, I think
yes.
the economy should be revolving like around cosmetics. So people trading different designs back and forth and stuff like that, which includes, I don't know, songs and themes and all of that. I don't really like it, the economy being around anything else. I think the whole legendaries stuff is bad for the game. I think having to buy guns of Armas and stuff like that, being Armas exclusive, etc., or having to play like what 1,000 hours to fucking unlock a specific gun. I think that's pretty bad, like design, a pretty dated design for a game in general. I think anything that actually affects the gameplay should be accessible to all, and
Uh,
then the meta should be around, trading cosmetics.
Trading cosmetics is fun, but you need to actually have the space for it. Like we right now have no space for actually cosmetics.
Yeah, there's no space for it. There's no the marketplace is like not a functioning marketplace, Only being able to put something up for 24 hours, you can't preview it. You can only customize things. You can't even buy things that are Arma exclusives. You can only sell like the most basic things. I don't know. It's pretty bad.
It's like everything that we are going to say is going to be bad right now in the game. Never mind.
Yeah, but I can say something good.
Yes.
APB, the reason why I believe this too is because the customization in APB is so good. Because it is so good, I think that's what the game should be taking, uh, as a powerful thing. That's the game economy revolving around trading cosmetics, people creating stuff.
I see. So the creation, like the graphical designs, are good. Like you would actually still put those graphic designs that we all minimized stuff from back in the day have on top of the games that we actually can play right now, or would you
Like,
say it's also dated?
end game APB should be cosmetic, Like, oh, you got that thing. Oh, your character looks really cool. That should be it.
Is it then something that you're actually thinking about, like a battle pass or something?
I mean, if they have a lot of cosmetic stuff in the battle pass, that's cool. That would be really cool. I think a lot of people would enjoy that. Like, they could have the easiest things added to the game. Like, that would take a day's work and 300 people would buy it because people like owning things, people like cosmetics. And I feel like spending more time making new legendaries or adding new armas guns is just the wrong approach to monetizing the game.
I can see. I can see
It'd also
that.
be
Like
cool.
I can
Like,
totally see that.
so
Like
let's
I'm
say
trying
that,
to envision it. Like I'm trying to envision it.
as an example, like cat ears in APB, they're not tradable, right?
Make it tradable, like 100% make it
Yeah.
tradable. But
So
it's
if you
also
own
something
it
that you can
yourself,
actually buy on Amos Marketplace, right?
yeah,
Or
you
is
can
it?
only buy it off Armas or with Joker tickets.
Yes.
But if you actually own the item yourself, you
Mm-hmm.
should be able to like trade and buy, you know, skins for it or whatever. You should be able to buy it so that you can use different versions that other people have created. It's crazy
I
to me
see.
that they have like these Armas exclusive cosmetics that just can't be traded in a game that is run, I don't know, like end game fashion.
I see here game assets are a lot more work than people imagine. I can totally understand that game assets, definitely in APB. The car that they actually did, the Mirage, I'm not a fan of it, sadly enough. I'm not gonna buy it. But I can see that it is a lot of work to actually add it to the game
It's
for
a
them.
lot more work to add a new car, right? Than there is to add a new hoodie to the game or add a new pair
Well,
of
you
shoes
need
or
to
whatever.
also make them fold in or fold out and stuff. Like there are
Yeah.
different ways to actually manipulate those things and those
So a
floating
maximum
stuff and
of
stuff.
2 or 3 days of work. So if
Okay.
we had a single person working on these things, they could maybe then produce 2 cosmetic items per week. And then over a month, they could release a pack of maybe, I don't know, 6 cosmetics, right? That you could buy. So the fact that they don't have a content creator, like an actual person making things for the game like that is kind of wild because then they're not monetizing their game.
What do you mean with monetizing in that way?
I mean, they need to pay for servers and for developers, right? Some way.
Okay.
And the best way to do it is through cosmetics. I don't think selling guns, like direct selling power, in a sense, is a good way to run a game, especially not in like current years.
So the Joker boxes that actually have been a thing in APB for quite a while are segments of power.
I mean, here's the thing, right? Sure, you can get pretty much every Arma's gun in game or its like counterpart. But the
Yes.
fact that you can bypass all of that, like grinding or whatever, through just swiping your credit card for power, is a bad design. Like, it just shouldn't be a thing. I think they should full on focus on cosmetics being the way that they make money off their game,
Okay.
not selling guns.
Another vision that I had was modders, like people who mod for clothing designs, people who actually create clothing designs, and would it be interesting for them to let them submit designs for the game? And
They could have like a monthly like contest of being like, hey, submit your stuff and then we'll put it in the game, and or like there's so many ways that they could make
is
new
that
stuff.
is that a good idea to actually bring potential new creators and definitely others to the game for potential game increase or game vision
I don't know about the
by the
term
players?
modders, but
Okay, mods,
definitely having
content
some
creators
way,
in design for design.
to do, I would say, sort of like what Valve does with skins for both Dota and for
Yes,
Counter-Strike.
those things I'm actually talking about, but then for 3D wars and
Yes.
stuff.
So Dota, people make full-on 3D models,
Yes.
and they can get accepted into the game or not. And there's so many people that would be willing to do this, and they could barely get nothing out of it in return other than it being in the game or whatever, and they would still be happy.
I would totally be on with people who actually create stuff for the game. Like,
Yeah. If they can't hire a single person to work on this, then they should outsource it to the community.
yes,
That's what
100%.
new modern $1 billion companies does. Because why would do the work yourself if somebody else can do it? That's like Roblox, gorillion fucking dollar empire, all on the back of kids making stuff for them. Or same with CS2, like, or Dota. Just outsource it if you can't do it yourself. But I do think it would be better if they just had one person working at LO to make it.
I'm 100% for outsourcing, but I want to actually have them actually um, not monetize it, but at least saying what can come in and what can't go in.
I mean, for sure, they need to have
They need to have actually a
restrictions.
policy or restriction to actually add stuff
Yeah,
in the game. Like,
that's what Valve does as well. Like you can't just add anything to the game. Like you need to
and
decide
that would
that.
be a better way to actually solve their things, what they're actually doing right now, in my opinion. But
Yeah.
okay, it's outsourcing. Like you give the code away, but but they still have the thing, and you cannot actually create a new game out of it. Like you're not allowed to actually
When
do.
in RTW, even like a lot of the clothes and stuff that are in the game from RTW from the start of the game are outsourced.
Are they?
Yes,
I didn't
it's
know.
people that have they've outsourced a lot of 3D work. So not from like random Joes or whatever, but through commissions and through other studios and stuff. It's
I
not.
totally, I did not know at all. Like
Yeah.
that's new to me. But I'm not really into the graphic design. Like I was more in the lore and stuff of APB.
It's just crazy to me that the decision for either to do something or do nothing has constantly do nothing when it comes to adding new content like clothes and stuff. Could you imagine all the like theme creators if they added a new sound pack with like three new instruments?
Yeah, I can imagine. Like that one, I can imagine. Like that's just
Their head would spin.
oh my god! But I don't think it's easy for like I don't know if they actually know the creation part of the game that well.
They should, and if they don't, then they should learn, right? If they hire a person to work on new 3D assets for the game, they will learn. And maybe they can't produce anything that is good for the game in the first month while they're still learning. But then after that, you have someone that is actively making things for the game that makes you money to continue the production of the game.
Like I see here, Secrets is not a content creator, so he cannot add the shit. I think Secrets can add stuff because you can actually see the Mirage getting added to the game.
And yeah, but he didn't 3D model that. That's been around, like that's been 3D modeled since ages ago.
Yes, but it was tweaked a bit with Matt
Yeah.
Scott and with
Yeah, they added wheels.
Secrets,
Very,
I think.
very cool.
Oh, and they don't work. Okay. Like I've seen some pictures, and I don't. Sorry,
Exactly.
I
You
don't
can't-
like the thing. Like I don't like Mirage at all.
Which is fine.
Like
But here's the thing,
I'm a Mirage hater. There you go. I'm a Mirage hater.
For that to be like one of the biggest milestones of like an entire years of development, like
I don't
that
think
and 64-bit, it's
64-bit. To be honest, 64-bit is a milestone.
Yeah,
you
but
can't
what
go
were we
out
promised
there.
for 64-bit? We promised that
A new
once
game,
64-bit
new engine.
is online, we can start to actually make some changes to the game. We can start adding things. How many things have been added to the game since
One thing.
64-bit?
One thing.
One car, which was already half made way back before Elo was even in the picture. It's kind of dishonest.
Yeah, I can understand that. Yes, but I can totally see it with one developer on the game. So
Exactly. So why not have another developer that can fund the continuation of the project through cosmetics? I don't know. Or they could also decide to do nothing and only focus on coding and balance. But, then you won't necessarily bring any new money into the game, but you will have a more better game in of itself.
Okay. I'm going to stop with that topic on there. I'm going to go to another topic, by the way.
Yeah.
GMs. Global mods. Basically. It can be a hard to talk topic on this. Like we have seen some global mods go away.
Yeah.
Lately. I have no idea why they got away. Like, don't ask me why. Don't ask me anything about those things. It's already a while that I don't trust any GMs. Sadly enough, in APB.
What do you mean don't trust them?
I don't really see the potential of them being there.
As in they're not moderating the community, or
Yes,
they're not.
yes, totally. I'm 100% totally sure that they don't moderate the community.
What do you think they should be doing right now then?
Right now, I totally have no idea, but I felt like the community, like what you actually see in chat, what you actually see in certain things, they have totally no power. There is totally no power that is actually happening. And like I feel like nobody for the last 5 years has done anything.
Yeah, to me, it's absolutely pointless to have a GM or whatever that can show up and see that somebody's doing something wrong, and then just like, oh, I have no power to change this, but I will forward it to the support team that maybe will do something in a couple of weeks. It's just useless. At that point, they shouldn't be GMs. They can just have the helper role. If they're just helping by saying things, sure. But if they don't have any actual power, they aren't a GM. They are just, I don't know, a GM's cuck. They don't have any power.
I see here Kyoki saying there are too few of them now after Com left and some others. To be honest, with Com Fire being actually a GM the last 5 years, sorry, like he is probably the only person that I trusted of the GMs, and him gone, I don't think anyone will actually fix that. Like right now.
What do you mean too few of them? If there's
there is not too few, there is none.
If there's okay, here's the thing. Yeah, if there's one person as a GM right now, that would still be one GM per 300 people. Other games have one GM per like
Thousands.
50,000 people. Like, I don't know. It's useless. They don't do anything either. So what can you do?
No, they're just fulfilling the helper role right now, and even with that, the helper role is nothing. We've got Nanichi only. The rest are dead, weight, or ultra inactive. Okay, we got Nanichi. Like Nanichi is right now a GM. I have no idea who is GM right now, or a senior GM, or anything of those things. Like, I know the senior GM. Okay. Yes, but what does Nanichi do? Like, tell me what Nanichi does. Like, from the GMs and from the things, the only person that I right now trust is the person who actually says, right now the servers go offline. There's only one.
Isn't Nanichi actually working for LO? Does he have a contract for them, or is there a volunteer?
I have no idea. Like, don't ask me. Like, I don't have any information of those things. Like, there is no information that is provided. Like, everybody needs to be quiet from the GMs, and I feel like that's something that LO actually has taken from the game towards. I feel like GMs need to actually be there, be helping
he's
people.
A volunteer only. Okay, so he shouldn't have any power then. If you're just a volunteer, you shouldn't have any power, in my opinion. So I don't know.
Like, okay,
I guess the community is too small to have someone employed to actually do, community work.
Totally, 100% totally. But I feel like if a GM actually sees something happen, then they need to actually be directly possible to actually fix it. Like, for example,
otherwise what's the point of being a GM?
They see somebody capping all the like two people are driving with the truck, and they go over a standing place. Like, you sometimes see those trucks with a noob in there or a trainee or something standing on a place with a truck not moving for 3 hours. Like, they're just sitting in their car and they're blocking every car that needs to be spawned. If a GM actually sees that, he needs to be saying, okay, goodbye. Right?
Yeah, but the problem is, if you start giving people that are just volunteers, right, power, it's, I don't know, it could be very, 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 very exploitable very quickly, because which people are actually volunteers, etc.
Yes. And which people are trustable and which people are not trustable. Like, those are things. The other person, Kim. There we go.
What's poppin', my dude?
Hello, guys.
So we've been already talking about it. What do you think of GM's reigns? Also, can you actually explain yourself, who you are and stuff? Would be handy.
GMs?
No. Who are you? Like, can you give some information about yourself first?
What do you want to know? I'm the guy.
About APB? What did you do in APB and stuff? For example.
What are your APB achievements?
Yes.
I have 5 max ranks. Um, I had like I had like 200 million APB dollars.
Sheesh.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. What do you think about GMs?
I mean,
they're not really doing anything, are they?
yeah, I was about to say there's no GMs. There's a single GM, and that person is a volunteer without power. So
do you see what is CSR team? Like I have no idea what that means. It's not public facing. CSR. Our biggest priority. Okay. They got a designer. That's cool. The work on the car efficiently was on Matt. So Matt did the car. And I'm taking a lunch break from matchmaking to say hello. Hi. No, I'm not authorized to hop on the call. We don't. If I say we don't need you,
it's no problem.
it's
Secrets,
kinda
I can
thing
speak
like-
for you. I'll speak for you. Secrets, no problem. Man.
Like, if you want to talk about it, like we're just giving our opinions, debating some stuff, and seeing some stuff in our eyes and stuff. Maybe it's interesting to actually check this out if you want later on, secrets. But
Yeah, secrets.
that's
Hop on the
your-
VOD later.
that's your experience.
So
Also,
since we weren't here for like some gameplay stuff, I do want to ask what's your opinion on like final stage being takeouts or VIP?
Mine?
You think that's
Yes.
do you enjoy final stage being takeouts? Do you think that's a good final stage?
I mean, it's better than VIP, I think, but it's not great. I feel like the fact that you can run, like if you get 1 kill, you can just run. It's kind of bullshit, but
And having wall hacks on every player is also kind of cooked.
yeah. I feel
Especially in objective-based game.
yeah. In a third-person shooter, it's kind of boring. But
Nice.
if you're,
What's the name of your
GMs
cat, Seki, by the way?
What?
What's the name of your cat?
Zuma. ZULMA.
Zuma.
Alright.
Yes. Sorry, I'm just reading what Secrets actually wrote. The like end of the year message is effectively is our 2023 roadmap that we're continuing this year. Matchmaking will absolutely transform the game. Like,
If they're continuing on the old roadmap, does that mean we get to see a rehaul in PvE content?
and I think
That
that
feels
will be
like a-
actually late. That's probably going to be later. Like,
Feels like a solid
I
way to
think-
waste time.
I think the only thing that you need to actually focus is the matchmaking right now. 100% the matchmaking. That's the only thing that I see.
Matchmaking, meta, as in terms of gun balance.
Yeah, I feel like
Mission
gun balance is
balance.
a pretty big one though, because like it feels like that's just like changing some numbers, no?
Yeah.
Like,
It doesn't
the
fully-
Obeer just makes the game so fucking boring in my opinion, because everybody just uses that shit.
I don't think anyone would be crying their eyes out either if a gun that people felt was OP was too weak after a nerf or whatever. But like if they had changes
Yeah.
every month or whatever, or every second month of meta,
Like
don't
every
think people
season or every 3 months, I would actually do changes. Otherwise, I wouldn't actually like 4 times a year or 3 times a year. A change,
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind, but not every month. Like totally not every month. Like
so
if
what
if I
made
need to
one gun
relearn
unusable?
if I need to relearn every gun after 1 month, I would actually quit the game. 100%.
I mean, here's the thing: if you do numeric changes very often, you would do very small changes, right?
Yeah.
If you would do like once per season, you would need to gamble on making very large changes because that's gonna sit across an entire season.
Like
And
if-
once you make big changes, you don't really know how it's gonna play out, right? You can have all the theories of, oh, we're gonna reduce the mag size of the MTech to 25, right? Might seem like not the biggest thing in the world, but you never really know.
I totally see it. Okay. So yeah, the GMs were for me. I don't really see any use of GMs at this point.
Yeah,
Like,
power
yeah,
level GMs to me, if they all they do is report things, dude, I can also report things.
Yes, I feel like it's just useless. Like I see, okay, Allo is looking for GMs, 100%. If they want to look for GMs, that's their thing. I feel like the GM system or invite system is actually bollocks. If I'm gonna be honest, like I don't like it. I don't see the worth in it personally. But that's just my opinion about it. But I don't see any worth into that thing.
I'm gonna grab a drink. Let's say.
Yeah.
Just bring up your thing here. Wait.
We already been to several things. I'm just going to what we actually didn't talk yet about. We talked about design. We talked about context. Oh yeah. What is your vision of APB? Like, what does All Points Bulletin say for you, context-wise and background-wise?
What?
What does All Points Bulletin say? The game All Points Bulletin say to you, context-wise, as if you hear the name? What is your vision on it? Sorry for the difficult question. If it's too difficult, you just have to say.
I don't know, bro. Bunch of Russians, I guess. I don't fucking know.
Some Russians.
But like, it's such a
Sorry.
question, bro.
What's the question? Yeah, because you
the context and the
speak,
background
good
of
trouble,
All Points Bulletin in his vision. Like I asked you too, Proxy. What is the information you get from the name All Points Bulletin? What is the vision, the unique gameplay, the focus? How does APB describe? What does APB describe in your eyes?
I mean, the name itself.
Yes, the name
nothing, right? It's.
But the game and the stuff towards it. Like, how do you see it? How do you see it?
Can you answer the question first?
Yeah,
Me?
answer the question first. Yeah.
Like I
want to see your take.
Okay. Okay. Like APB is just All Points Bulletin. I directly think about a shoot 'em up game where you can actually be a person that can actually elevate in how good you are in prestating in a certain way. Like, how good are you into making chaos in a city, for example? That's the vision that I see with All Points Bulletin. So the background of it, like I see a city in front of me, like where people can actually walk around and stuff, like GTA. That's the all points, like all points where you can actually do certain things in a city, and then you need to actually have the button that's shooting basically, and then you have actually the leveling up of growing the name together as a ranking system where people can actually make a name for themselves and stuff.
Be everything you can't be, right?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
So those things are actually keeping my mind on, I can become somebody in a game and I can create a name for myself. Like, that's the uniqueness of APB that the game
and I think
needs to give
personally,
to me.
The entire thing of making yourself the guy or whatever, it's all around, to me at least, like all the cosmetics, your theme, the style of your like character,
the vision, the gameplay.
Like that's the whole reason for it to be like a persistent world shooter, right? Because of all
Yes.
the cosmetics and stuff. Because otherwise, you could just have it, I don't know, like a lobby-based game, right? Where you just queue up and then it's an empty district 4v4. Nah, that's boring because you want to be able to see other people. You want to see their cosmetics and shit. So I think that's one of the biggest things that the game should be playing on.
Oh, how do you see that vision then?
I mean,
Do you have another vision towards it, or
I just think they sort of lost the vision a bit. Like, I think
feel like
APB
the
was a
game-
good vision.
The game doesn't really have its own like unique art style anymore. Everything is just bland, in my opinion.
and
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's sort of stagnant, right? Because you only have so many things you can do with customization when after 10 years there's basically
Yeah, there's
nothing
only a-
new.
Yeah, there's only like a set amount of items, and I feel like it kind of lost its like unique art style with the new stuff they've been releasing. So
Especially when they released, what was it, the famine pack or whatever, which basically you can only change colors on because they are so hard textured. You can't really do anything else. They should have more modular clothes and like more playing more to customization.
so basically customization needs to actually be up there. Like your vision is actually the customization.
Yeah, I don't think
For
the game would
your outpost building
survive.
is customization.
I don't think the game would have survived like even 2 or 3 years if it wasn't for the customization. If it was purely the gameplay in this game, I don't think anyone would play it. If you were just like the standard, Russian goblin that has full black outfits, like if that was everyone's default character and you can't swap away from it, pretty sure nobody would have interest in the game.
true.
All right. Okay. Sorry, I was thinking about some stuff. Progression and reliability. The progression system includes leveling up, unlocking the customization and stuff. How do you guys actually feel that is run?
What do you mean?
How the unlocking system is created, like from back in the day till now? Do you think they need to actually rework it?
It's a very long journey. So let's say that they were introducing an armor's only gun in new contacts that you would only have access to now after rating 255 or whatever. How many hours would you actually need to play to get there is pretty absurd if you were like full free to play.
It's like 400 hours for like a veteran player to reach max rank on rank 9 with premium. So I imagine it's gonna take a while for a new player to reach there.
Yeah, I think it should be like front loaded, right? So you should have a lot of the actual guns unlock pretty early, and then the later you go in unlocking stuff, it should be more like unlocking new cars, unlocking new stuff for like making themes or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like the progression is so weird though, because like if you're like a rank 9 player and you queue against like 255s, you're gonna be at a severe disadvantage.
Yeah, what are you gonna do if they hop on a like I don't know, item hold, right? They're sitting on car surfing with an Osmo and you're supposed to chase them in a Calibria. What can you do?
Not much. That's true.
I feel like the MMO aspect of the game is just kind of outdated because of how few players there are left,
So you actually remove the context. You put remove the context in the whole.
I just think it should be front loaded with actual like gameplay related things very early, and then
like
all the
mods
things. Yeah, they should, because that's the thing, right? There's contacts that are very very late that have direct gameplay things. Like, what's the minimum rank to have?
195 or
185
185
to have some stuff. That's cooked. It's okay if
just
you can
make
buy
it
off,
85. Like just make it 85. Like,
just make it 40 or whatever. Like,
yeah, they should give out mods. I feel like they should give out the like clothing agent and shit just from like leveling up contacts. Because like there's no way like a random silver is gonna buy that shit,
Yeah, it should be front loaded in unlocks so that it unlocks very early, in my opinion.
Would you
I
actually
think it's
pause
okay that you
them?
can buy these. Like you can buy them off marketplace, which is fine. I don't think it's good, but you know, I don't think
Wait,
it's a good solution.
would would it be good if like right now I'm thinking about making the contacts in a sort of bracket, and you can choose one contact, and then you can go to the level 2 bracket of contacts with 3 contacts, then you can go to the level 4 contact and level 5 contact, for example, where certain contacts are actually getting squished, that you don't need to actually do everything before you can actually go to the next one.
Yeah, I'm okay with like having you skip contact and stuff. That's fine to me. Like if you see that there's a contact that like only has things that you don't care about,
Like you
I
need
don't
to
think you should be
actually
forced to max it out to get to the next,
you need to
stuff.
get 10
Yeah.
levels in your contacts to unlock new contacts, and then 10, 20, 30, 40, and on 40 you actually unlock everybody, or at 50 you unlock everybody.
Yeah,
Like
and you can kind of choose which ones you want to level up, you mean?
yes.
Yeah.
I almost don't see a reason for them to be tiered in the first place. Like
No, but
if there's stuff in a contact that you want to unlock, maybe you should be able to like level up that contact from the start, not having to go through tier 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Yeah.
yeah, that's how I saw it. Like for
Yeah.
actually keeping it relevant towards lore-wise and stuff. Like that's just in my opinion for the lore-wise, it would be actually a step towards okay, you are going to a higher contact and another higher contact and another higher contact, and so step ups.
So every
Okay,
contact that is a higher tier as it is right now takes incredibly much more
effort.
like XP, right?
Yes,
So the first level contacts, you like do one mission and you lock like 5 levels,
yes,
which is fine. And I think you should get the option at least. So like if you wanna at the start of the game want to start leveling up a tier 6 contact or whatever, it's gonna take you a long time, but you can do it.
yes.
You should
But
have the option
that's
for it.
just the grind. That's just the grind aspect. So you can actually
Yeah.
not get there. But then I would actually make a max level where you can actually go in a vanilla gameplay where you don't have mods, you don't have anything, just to actually level up.
Yeah, because
Yeah, and I feel like you should be able to pledge waterfront contacts in financial as well. Like I feel like there
Yes,
shouldn't be a restriction.
100%. Like there no restriction on like they stand there, but you can actually use them also on another district. Would be fine for me.
yeah, just interact with them through the actual UI that you already have.
Yes,
Just
yes.
pledge should be fine.
I'm 100% for that. Like if you don't want waterfront, you don't want to play waterfront. Personally, I grew up with waterfront. I liked playing waterfront back in the day. Now
It's
everybody
just too
plays
strong to play defend on Waterfront
through.
as it is right now.
That's probably why I liked it. Because I was good at it.
Just the quick 2 DMR AVs, don't play 100 meters away. It's both a gun flaw like in meta, and also the points are just pretty bad.
Yes,
Need some
true.
map design rework.
True. If you could share your personal experiences with APB players, which one would be your favorite? And that's
My favorite
talking
APB
about your
experience?
10 year or how long you actually have been played. Yes.
One of my funniest APB experience happened. When was it? I think October or September, something last year. But I don't think I can really talk much about it. But it was pretty funny.
I see. Reed? Do you have a favorite memory or anything?
Yeah, it was like 5 years ago, but I can't really talk about it either. It'd probably get banned off this platform, so.
Okay. Right. Okay.
No, but the thing is, right? The reason why APB works, in my opinion, is because every mission is pretty clowny, right? It's a different spot. It's not like you're playing Dust 2, right? You don't have
Yes.
executions where flash that side.
Yes.
You need to approach every single like spots differently.
It are more spots. I think there are
And-
more spots that you actually need to focus on. Like,
Yeah,
and
so
it's more open. Like,
Yeah,
if
you
you
can't just sit and hold a single angle. Like, it doesn't work like that.
imagine playing the same game as APB Reloaded, but in a setting as Cyberpunk. As the game Cyberpunk.
Yes.
Like the map Cyberpunk, if you actually know the map Cyberpunk. Or just say normal GTA. Like,
I mean, I think you could do APB in pretty much a lot of different settings or whatever, but I don't
Yeah,
see how
but
that's relevant.
I see what you're talking about though, Proxy. It's like there's so much variety in what's going on in the mission. You know, like you'll be driving there, something can happen, or you could like take a different. It's like different
okay.
ways to approach every mission. You know.
Okay.
Yeah, so I wouldn't say I necessarily have like a single moment that is, oh wow, that's my favorite APB moment of all time.
Okay.
I don't know. I think the fact that everything's just different is it creates moments. Like everything is a moment because it's never the same match.
And PB Meta has made it.
Amen.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. For me, the personal me, it's recruiting for clans. Like, that's my favorite moment of APB. I cannot see an other favorite thing that I actually had with the APB than recruiting for clans, doing clan stuff, creating clans,
I think
playing with clan members.
stuff is maybe needs a comeback of like doing clan events and stuff. Because I think the clan rivalry stuff it's pretty fun, but sure, I don't know. I liked it having weekly stuff maybe for clans and stuff.
Yeah,
Like,
you should have that event again. Did they have like an event way back in the day where like if a clan got a certain amount of kills or points or whatever, you would get like rewards for the entire clan?
Yeah, where or that you got your clan to transmit like a message in district chat or whatever in all chats every now and then. That was pretty good.
Oh, what about clan fights? Adding clan fights?
I mean, that's just playing the game, right? Sometimes you get out versus another.
No.
clan.
Yeah, but clan fights, like, nobody has actually a faction and you actually do clan fights. Like a map where.
I mean, in-housing.
Yes.
I mean, people already do that, no?
Yeah. I think maybe adding support to like make it more easy to do in-housing, so you could like arrange. Yeah, we want to face that group, so you don't have to go into an empty district and hope nobody's, I don't know, griefing it or whatever.
So basically making the forums, no, not the forums. Oh my god.
Make it easier to do arranged matches. Could be a pretty helpful thing.
It can be an add-on, definitely an add-on, I think.
I think they need to rework the tutorial system, dude.
Yeah, otherwise, yeah, it's pretty impossible as a new player. I think if you don't get guided by someone already, like that knows the game, I have no idea how you would even get into the game.
Yeah. I feel like APB has like they have such an opportunity because like they wouldn't even need to like spend any money on marketing. Just get Summit to play the game. A bunch of fucking players come in, and if you have a proper tutorial system and like a proper matchmaking system, I'm pretty sure they'll stay.
Yeah, I have like a couple of friends that are working in pretty large studios and stuff, and like they don't necessarily believe anymore that like spending money on publicity is a worthwhile cause. If you have a good enough game and you can get people to actually play it without advertising, that's good enough because people talking to people is the best advertising.
Yes, I totally agree on that one. Like that's me talking to a friend and he's trying it, and then this friend is actually talking to his other friends that he has. Like, it's definitely publicity, and can be handy.
Yeah.
I have here another question. Like, if people have questions or have things to debate on, just put it in chat. I got 30 more minutes maximum that I can do this. If you want to actually know something from us or see our visions on it, just put it in chat and we will see. We expect the game to grow in popularity when our game is actually worth playing. We know we have a lot of work to do. Part of that work includes improving the game. The publicity doesn't need to be bought or paid for, it needs to be earned. So they're talking about earning. Like Elo is talking about earning.
Here's the thing: you could spend like $20 million in advertising; it would still be less effective than 10 teenagers making funny TikTok that goes viral, right?
Yeah, or
Yes.
like Summit, Dizzy,
Yeah,
these people streaming the game.
even for
This
once.
is literally free advertisement, and if the game is good enough, they'll stay.
Yeah,
Totally.
I really hope they focus on the new
Let's wait
player
for new
experience
content.
very soon.
Like we know about the content that is in the pipelines. I think.
I don't think we
like-
do now.
Like we getting a contact and the gun or something, or no, a contact and a car. Like we already got the car right now.
So we don't know.
And we are going to get mods that were still in the game added through those contacts. That's what I actually knew from.
Did they
reading
say
this
anything
stuff.
about the mods? I'm pretty sure they just said.
I
something
think
about the
they
guns.
are all on the database. Like all the mods that are still on the database of APB database. I think those are the mods they are going to actually add. Like I'm not sure which one it will be, but I'm pretty sure those are the ones that will be.
Yeah,
Okay.
lots of spitting in chat, dude. That's true.
Doesn't matter.
Need more than one dev.
Yeah, a content dev would be insane.
They got a
Just
content
pumps
dev.
out new cosmetics.
No, they got
They
a
don't have
designer,
a
right?
content dev. That's a designer, yes, but or intern designer. But yeah, that's not a content dev. That's not someone that's making new 3D models for cosmetics.
Oh, okay.
That is someone that is working on
I thought
like
it was the
meta game
same.
balance, map balance, or helping out in general direction of the gameplay.
Which okay, which level do you? Okay, how much percentage do you think that the game still needs work on right now?
I would say yes.
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 100%. 100%. Okay. So there's a lot of work.
Yeah, probably something like that.
Okay. Are there questions from the audience or people, or if you want to actually see certain things debated, please put them in chat. I'm scrolling a bit up.
Yeah, of course it takes time to train a new person. Like, can take a long time, especially like depending on the person. They might be slow learners, but it's good that you at least have more people that have working on the game.
Yeah, like not to shit on the devs or anything, but the past like clothing items, man.
Clothing
Really?
items, like, has there been clothing items even from
From Hello?
Hello? Like, I don't even remember.
Yeah, but they've not really been up to par, I think.
Yeah.
Compared to the old G1 stuff.
Does Secrets
I'm gonna-
maybe have something that he wants to ask us? What we think? Like, that would be an interesting one. If he has time for that. Or she. Sorry.
I really, really hope though that the main focus for monetizing the game is going to be like purely cosmetics and not more XD. We have a new legendary gun and shit
Yeah,
like
we
that.
have the Nano Butcher, guys.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
Yo,
sure.
check out the Nano.
The
Yo, check it
okay.
I mean,
I would love to actually see a marketplace on like Steam has on APB.
yeah,
Change my
workshop
mind.
stuff. Yeah.
Change my mind.
People can
Like,
bots.
are you for that or are you against that? Like, I would like to see the
Here's the thing.
marketplace that we
Even if
actually
have
have in the
that-
game. The marketplace
Even
in the
if we
game
have
just
that,
like Steam.
even if you have people that can submit their new 3D models, whatever, there would still need to be a person that is implementing these into the game.
Yes.
So the first step would, regardless, be a content designer, right? Someone that could make new 3D models and clothes and stuff. They could start making stuff into the game, and then you could start taking stuff that other people have made, and then that designer person can form it whatever so it actually fits APB, with layers and whatever. And
That would be
fit
good
with all
Wouldn't
the
that
stuff.
be like a legal nightmare though? Like what if that shit is stolen? You know,
Yeah,
the asset is stolen, or
That's for them
rights
to
to use.
actually do, and then you can actually ban the people who actually create that. Like they didn't create it; they just got it from
Yeah.
this
But
designer.
it makes it very difficult. So let's just say that they added new super cat ears, right? And it turns out after 6 months of selling these super cat ears that it's a stolen model. All right, do we then remove all of these models from the game, or do we then refund everyone? It opens up for a lot of problems. So I think just having a person that can make these on their own is the first step.
Yes. You can create that and then it goes through a policy, but it needs to actually go to a policy so they can actually check everything is all right, everything is not all right. Like I'm pretty sure there is actually a database where they can actually check what is available and what's not available. That should not exist. Would be weird if that doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Like I see in other games like Second Life and stuff. I'm not allowed to actually talk about Second Life or IMVU. Like they have all those rules and they can actually create assets and stuff. You cannot steal from somebody else.
The problem is again that like they still would need a person, like a full-time dedicated employee to put this into the game.
Yes, 100%.
And that person also needs to know how to do 3D modeling and stuff. So the first step would be having a person that can work on this and sell their like LO produced stuff, cosmetics. And maybe down the line they could open up for like workshop items, other people's outsourced.
True.
To Six Post, if you have a question for us to answer, that would be great. You don't need to hop on the call at all. I'm not accepting more than 3 people in the call. Like we are with 3. Right. Let's see. Did somebody
they say like in 2018 they were gonna add like a battle pass to the game?
that was mentioned. That was mentioned by an not an official creator, but somebody who wanted to actually create IDs for the game. But that was not mentioned by LO at all.
Yep,
It was
the roadmap.
It was an ID that actually they were circulating with that ID also, but it was not for now, and they're not going to actually start with it now or anything. Like maybe in the future they can think about it, but it's totally not on their vision.
I wonder if they're gonna drop a 2024 roadmap anytime soon.
Yeah, wasn't the context gonna drop last year in the 2023 roadmap?
Whoopsie.
Secrets has a question. Okay.
I don't know. I feel like
We'll wait on that one. How do you think the community would respond to a progression revamp, as in adding other guns to progression that should be there?
So like what's that gun? Like the VBR that isn't a legendary. The Huntress, for instance.
I would
Like
love the
adding that.
Hunters. I would love actually the Hunters in the game.
My problem is if they would add it to a new contact right now, right? It would be locked behind hundreds and hundreds of hours of gameplay.
Yes.
So I still think, I don't know, being able to select which contacts you want to level up, even though they're not, I don't know, directly your tier or whatever, could be help.
Like for me, if you actually get level 40 or something, you need to actually unlock every contact. Like, I would love to actually see a progression in the contacts that you actually can do. But at level 40 or level 50, you need to see all the contacts. That's the max
Like,
level,
you should
and
be
you can actually do that in 3 days or something. Or,
after like
To answer
100.
number three, yes. If the players are high enough level, yes.
Yeah.
I feel like sometimes even like a 3v4, your 3 golds and like or 3v5, like 3 golds and 5 silvers, that is a hard matchup if the players are high enough level.
one sec. In your opinion, do you think the single gold player is ever equal to 2 silvers in the sake of matchmaking?
Like, if these 2 silvers have any sense of teamwork, like, it's very hard for the gold.
No.
Even if they're worse at aiming and whatever.
Yeah.
Like, I'm pretty sure it's easy for the gold if they're not in team. If they're in team, yeah, then it's going to be hard for the gold. Like,
Yeah.
one gold is 1 silver and a bronze, in my opinion.
Like, if it's
Like like nobody is bronze,
But
unironically. Like
yeah, but that's how I actually always envisioned it. 1 gold is the same as 1 silver and a bronze.
if we scale that up to 2 golds versus 4 silvers, if these 4 silvers are in a pre-made versus these 2 golds, it's
Yeah,
gonna be
then-
hard if they're
yeah,
at teamwork, right?
100%.
So it's kind of difficult to compare directly.
You cannot compare it, to be honest. There is totally no way to compare it.
If there was like solo queue where literally none of these people are in a pre-made, then you could like answer the question, but there's no support for that.
Personally, on the third question, I cannot answer at all. Like, I cannot see, like, I don't know who those 2 silvers are. Are those 2 silver just dropped down from gold to silver? Are they in pre-made? Are they not in pre-made? There are too much questions you need to ask before you can actually see if a single gold player is actually the equivalent of 2 silvers. Like, it's 2 versus 1 at that point, right?
Yeah, they just push you together and
It's over. Like, like, I feel like you need to actually have more ranking systems to actually see the difference. Personally,
to get to question 1 and 2 though, I feel like if it takes more than 100 hours to unlock like something and you can bypass it by spending money.
yeah, it shouldn't be
It's
something that's
tricky.
like there shouldn't be any weapons that you unlock after that point or any like mods,
Yeah.
or it should just be cosmetics in my opinion.
Yeah. Playing 100 hours, you should have access to anything that is gameplay related,
Yes.
in my opinion.
Yeah, like every base weapon, every base mod.
definitely weapons. Like, definitely weapons. Like, the first and the second question can actually be added together, to be honest. How much is the price consistency issue? Do you see benefit of us redoing the pricing scheme on to be more consistent? The price of guns. Like, the question is, how much money do you earn from selling the cosmetics? Cosmetics are priced like everybody wants. You need to actually look to Fortnite. Those ask like $2 or $2.99 for a pre-made outfit, I think.
No, it's more like 10.
Is it
10
10?
minimum.
Is it 10?
Yeah, like 8 to 10, and then they go up to 20, I think.
I would actually focus on other games for the pricing.
In pure like
Personally.
dollar amount, how much does like a permanent account-wide gun cost or character bound?
2000? Wasn't it 2000?
So it's like what, $20, €20 or something?
20 euros, yes. 20 something.
For me, that is absolutely insanity in a like economy where people are screaming about $10 gun skins.
Yes, 100%.
And here
Like-
we have $20 power that you can buy.
I have no
Yeah.
problem with what Fortnite or what other games do for costumes. Like, a costume is just nothing. If it's a gun, I feel like everybody needs to actually have the opportunity to actually get them. And if $20. Like I paid $20 for guns, of course. I love this game, but still, back in the day, it was already expensive to actually get a gun for somebody who actually doesn't work or is a kid or something. Like nobody's
I'm
going
looking
to buy
now
those things.
I'm looking now. The most expensive with the premium discount is like 20. It's like 2,000 GBP pretty much.
Like
Pistols are cheaper, and then
I feel like if you buy a gun, like what you have in Joker store is actually already good. If you want to actually have a lifetime gun, 10K, I'm 100% sure people are going to buy for, I don't know, 10K is 10,000, how much is it?
10K would be like $10 now, or like around.
I think it's $10, right? Like I don't know the prices of it. Like $10 for actually a lifetime gun, I feel like that's actually okay.
I still don't think it's like the right move. I do enjoy though that the whole Joker ticket system, that you could actually grind the guns through
Yes.
that, and you could boost it up through swiping money, right?
Yes.
But then again, the important distinction is that you can get it through in-game means, like purely. And if you like focus on like, I only want the MTech 3 slots, you can get there relatively quickly. Like what, 3 or 4 weeks of grinding maybe? But that's
Sort
still
of.
quite a lot.
Sort of, yes. And if you want to actually pay 5 or you get something, like I'm pretty sure that personally the Joker store for me is fine. Everything on Armas is bollocks. That's it.
I feel like they should add more account-wide stuff to Armas. Like the Mirage should be account-wide. The gear that you buy should be account-wide. The skins, everything. Like
I think everything in general should just be account-wide, right? I don't.
Yeah.
Buying character-bound stuff.
Even Joker tickets would need to be account-wide, in my opinion.
I'm for that as well. It would make it so. So here's, I guess, the counter argument, whatever, is that you could grind up so many Joker tickets on like so many characters, but isn't it in the best interest of the game to have lots of people playing? If there's more people grinding for something, that's good, right? Instead of being hard locked on like, oh, you can only earn this much from playing Fight Club. You're already in the top 10% or whatever. So I guess you can't do much.
Yeah.
Also, I want to play this character, and I want to actually collect for a gun on that character, but I already have the gun on my other character, so I'm basically playing on that character to actually unlock Joker tickets. I don't really feel like that needs to be an issue to actually get your Joker tickets just mounted on one character instead of all your characters.
I think
I
Joker
feel like
tickets should be
maybe the contacts should like award a set amount of Joker tickets every time you level them up as well, so that you new players kind of get a head start in getting Joker tickets.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like I don't feel like the character that you play needs to be actually restricted towards where you actually want to spend your Joker tickets on.
Yeah, I think Armos should be more focused on purely cosmetics and less on gun stuff. Gun stuff should be Joker ticket related.
I have no problem with actually the Joker ticket missions. Personally.
What, getting 5 Joker tickets for playing a 30-minute mission?
Yeah, okay, it can maybe be a bit more, like, but I don't know, like, I don't.
At least you're getting something.
You get something, and okay, I feel like there doesn't need to be actually a timer on it and stuff. Like people who actually play for 5 minutes and they actually finish the game directly get 5 Joker tickets. But if you actually play certain things, like I feel like every segment that you actually play through, until then you actually get that amount of Joker tickets. That would be better. Like you get 3 Joker tickets per segment or something, or 2 Joker tickets per segment. And if you have a mission of 5, you actually get 10 Joker tickets in total. That would be actually fun.
You should have like BDO, where you log in, you do, if you play for 30 minutes, you get a certain amount of currency, and then if you play for 60,
of course not.
90.
Like, yes. That's the idea basically on it. Like,
yeah.
What about making Joker tickets tradable? You think that'd be exploitable?
No. That's just asking for people who are actually going to make a market out of it.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that.
You're gonna get bots. You're gonna get people who are actually going to sell, buy and sell on Joker tickets, and they're gonna make it expensive. They're just grinding for it, and then they are going to sell it as expensive as Allo is actually selling it. Like, you don't want to actually sell Joker tickets. You don't want to actually be able to trade Joker tickets. No.
Because then, sort of what happens, right, is that Joker tickets equals guns, and then what isn't regular money for?
Like, I have no problem with actually people who want faster gun or something, that they can just buy Joker tickets.
What is there to spend your actual regular money on
I guess
in the
player
game?
trading, no? Like legendaries, clothing, themes, symbols,
Yes.
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Like, you only need to actually, like, you want to be a banana in the game. Okay, here is a skin for a banana, and you can
There's
actually
not
play
a whole lot
banana.
of trading going on though with a marketplace that is absolutely dysfunctional.
Like, the marketplace, I would actually remove the marketplace and make it like we have in like Steam, literally like Steam.
I feel like the trading, like there should be a tax on the cash because people just put up the
Yeah.
fucking legendaries for an insane amount of like
Yes. Okay.
a way higher price on the market because there's like 20% cut, you know.
That's
They
just
just want to do it via
taxes.
trade.
But you can also trade it. Like, I
Yeah,
don't
but they
really.
want to do it via trade, so they don't get the.
I feel like trading
tax.
for legendary guns should actually be cancelled. Only through market transactions.
I
don't
hate
know
the
about
whole
that.
concept of legendary guns in general. I'm sure people like being collectors or whatever, but I don't know.
I would
don't like the
literally
concept.
do it through trading stuff, because, like, you have money, you buy it with money. That's it. That's trading for me. That's the marketplace. What would you trade? Like, you can actually do songs trading. You can do those kinds of trading if you want to. Like, those are actually consumables, or not consumables. Things that you can actually share with people. With guns, it's just, yeah. There's also a market after it. Like, people are buying and selling for real money, and that's what I actually would like to actually see gone.
I mean, yeah, like real money trading is
Yes,
gonna be
real
an
money
issue, and
trading.
you can't really necessarily stop it either. I don't know. I think that's sure it's against TOS, but it can't really be detected. You can't really do much about it. I don't know. You
Yeah.
can't build around a system that hinders other players just to catch these few people.
Yes, but that's just visions that you have, right? Like,
Legendary gun skins instead of legendary guns. Absolutely.
y'all forgetting that APB is a free game, and currently has 1 to 3 devs that has also lives besides APB. The requests
Should we go over?
that everyone is asking is almost impossible to successful point unless they focus on coding. Only for APB for 12 hours to 16 hours each day.
I don't think we ever forgot that APB is a free-to-play game, or that it only has 1 or 2 devs. I don't know. I don't know. My guy's trying to cook there, but the stove ain't on. Yeah,
Do
of
you
course we
think?
know there's a lot of there's only so much they can do. We're not deciding for the studio here. We're just spitballing ideas, you know,
Yes.
sharing our opinions, our takes.
Debating our opinions and stuff, like what would be better, what would be worse in your opinion and stuff. Like, we have right now 3 people. If you want to actually come on the show another time, you can always say your thoughts. I'm going to do Sunday also one, and we will see how far we can actually get it. But it's just giving our ideas out of there. Like, there are a lot of people still invested and interested in APB, and we totally agree on certain things. We also disagree on other things. Like, nobody's perfect, and that's how we do it, I guess.
I think the game's gonna continue to be 1 or 2 devs for as long as they don't start monetizing cosmetics properly.
Probably. Like, I think they need to actually fix the game first before they actually start with the cosmetics. Like, balancing is probably okay. If they actually do the balancing first and then actually focusing on what's the next step, is it cosmetics? Probably it's going to be cosmetics and IDs to actually make the game.
I disagree, as in these
grow,
people
right?
don't work on the same thing. Having a person that's working on 3D things versus another person that is coding things, or another person that is doing balance things, these people aren't the same person. You need to have one more person working in
Yeah,
this.
of
person
course,
that
of
is
course, of
making
course, of course,
cosmetics.
of course. They need more people. But is the balancing going to actually help on that note or not?
You're not slowing down the balance stuff by having a person working on something else. That person is still going to be working on the balance.
Okay. Then the fourth question of secret posts. Sorry that it took so long. Do you think that adding open slots to other weapons that traditionally do not have them would be impactful in any way? If so, how many slots, considering all factors such as gun balance? Like, personally, I have no problem with making the guns for 0 slotted towards 3 slotted the same gun.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like he's probably talking about like the sitting duck, or I mean the scout.
Oh,
Scout.
those guns.
Yeah, the pre-modded weapons, you know. And in my opinion, I feel like they could make them open slot, but never add any more mods than like they shouldn't make a 3-slotted scout, you know. They can make a 1-slotted scout or a 1-slotted CSG, but
I
never
think
like a 3-slotted.
I feel like they're already balanced around their own niche, right? Like,
Yeah, they're kind of balanced around the mods, you know. Yeah.
yeah. I don't think there's a need for it. Like, what are you gonna do with an like open 3-slot modded Aces rifle? Like, I don't know. It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
Why would we need that?
Yeah, I think the
Like that,
3-slot ones are already balanced around what they
that's
are.
just
so it's
saying
fine.
to all the secondaries we're gonna make 3 slotted secondaries, right?
Oh no, I think all the secondaries should not have open slots.
Like, I have no problem with actually having an open slot for 1 for the secondaries. Like, I have no problem with that.
Yeah, actually, I
it
would
would
be
break the
against that idea.
meta.
I feel like that
Okay,
would
so
be
your
interesting.
open slot 45.
1 open slot
Why
45, yeah.
not?
I don't know. Might be cooked, but I feel like
Or they need to actually
base game
create
modes around these
Or
things.
they just make actually what we already have right now, the secondaries with already a pre-slot in there. They have that already for one gun and just make it for all the mods. Like, it's the same thing, right?
Like, catch me rolling up with nothing but a 3-slot fucking 45. That'd be
Yeah, I'm not
crazy.
talking about the 3 slot 45.
Yeah,
I'm
but they
just
can make it like a 1-slot, you know.
a 1 slot,
Yeah.
like an open 1 slot
Yeah.
for secondaries.
Maybe.
I have no problem with that.
I mean, I'm sure
think
you know
everyone
it
would just
would
have
break the
3.3.
balance on. It would break the balance on some like weapons, but I feel like you could probably balance around that, and it would be way more interesting.
Like, to be honest, I feel like all the mods needs to actually get balanced first on that part, but yeah, that's just me.
It could be fun. It could open up a lot of new cool things.
Like, you can.
But it could also be super cancer. But maybe, yeah, like the game's already like pretty stale. Worth a try, right? You could at least do like I don't know. They had those test boxes before, you know, you get
Oh yeah,
temporarily
yeah,
a
the
gun,
test districts, yeah.
right? Just have some couple of test stuff.
I would love to
also
actually see all secondaries having actually an open secondary, like 1 slot opened.
Either way, I have to go, Ziki.
Yeah, I'm not going to actually do a lot anymore. So yeah. I'm just going to go through. Also, have a good evening or day to you.
See you, man.
Okay. We are with 2 how about legendary skins for guns instead for legendary guns? So that the skins of legendary guns can be implemented on your other guns. Would that probably be a good idea? Like you unlock a legendary gun, and then you actually get the skin for all your guns that you can actually use from that legendary
I'm
gun.
gonna be honest, I've never cared about the gun skin in this game. It's like they're so small, they're hidden behind your character. Like you barely see them in my opinion. I don't really have an opinion about gun skins.
I
But
see.
I think instead of having legendary guns, they should be legendary skins or something.
Yeah, that can be actually a good idea. That was the idea of Gaming First, right? The legendary guns.
I don't know.
Like there we got Joker tickets in there and stuff. Like I think it was the idea of G1.
Yeah.
Uh,
They were supposed to be limited time exclusives and all of that, and then they ended up just lying. So
then the last question that I have for us. What's your overall opinion of APB? Like, what would you actually scale your APB opinion right now on providing the recommendations based on the preference of players who enjoy open world multiplayer games with the focus on customization and dynamic?
I mean, right now I wouldn't recommend APB to anyone. That's just how it is. I wouldn't recommend it to anyone that's played it before because it hasn't significantly changed enough for it's worth it to like come back to APB, look at all the new things that are happening.
There is nothing.
Because there isn't any. And I would never recommend it currently to a person that hasn't played APB before because it's useless to try to start right now. So for me, it's a cool game, cool concept that it's just kind of dead in the water right now.
For me, it goes like I would say if you want, if you hear about this game, we can say a lot of good things about it, but it's all in our heads.
It's mostly driven by nostalgia and stuff.
Yes,
I don't think.
Also,
Yeah.
play wise, the game mechanically wise, I would actually put it still on the best mechanical wise gameplay that you can actually get. Even though
Yeah,
it's
it's
also a
very
bit
responsive.
outdated, like you can actually add some more dynamics, I think, or player intuitive visions towards the game. But that's just adding and just seeing a vision going on. That can be providing a personal add-on to the game to make it more interesting. Overall, I can say if you want to play it, just try it out. But I am going to say
Here's the thing.
if you want to try it out, make sure that you actually are prepared, because you're not
I
going to
wouldn't-
like it at
I
all.
wouldn't want someone to try it out right now though, because here's the thing: if potentially the game would be good in magically in 6 months, because they've done so many things, right? I wouldn't
Yes.
want them to try it right now because they will have such a bad experience that I don't think anyone would ever come back. And we can see that in pure statistics. If people were staying into the game, our population would go up, and it's not. So it's just not good enough to stay in the game.
What I
And I wouldn't want to scare someone off.
I don't want to scare somebody off. That's why I'm actually saying, like, be prepared. Like, I don't want to actually say, okay, you cannot play this game. It's a bad game. Like, there are good concepts in there, and I want to actually see if they can actually find those good concepts also. But 100% of the time, like, people are just leaving after like 5 minutes. Like, even not like, or maybe 10 minutes, so they play one mission and it's over. Like, or they don't even get to the mission and they're already gone. Like,
Yeah.
that's just it. Like, we cannot promote the game as streamers, as players who actually play the game in a good daylight, but we see the concepts and we see the visions, what the potential can be for this game. That's the only thing that I can actually say on. That's my opinion about it. I think I have way two opinions. But yeah, there's so much that you can actually say that makes it good, and then at the end of the day, it's going to be bad anyway. Like there's nothing to actually provide. Okay. What is this? When they load up to the map, the game is not a GTA. We understand that the game is not a GTA. Like, I hope. It's just an old game that needs to have a new map, rework, and all those things, like new dress code, new revamps. Like, too much to actually sum up.
Yeah, and I don't really think the game should be like advertised as an like open world sandbox shooter game. It should be more advertised to what it really is, which is like, you know, a multiplayer shooter game that just happens to be like on a big map.
True.
It isn't GTA. It's not. You have missions. You have stuff you need to do. It's not a sandbox.
True. Okay, so everybody, this is the. I'm going to end it here. So yeah, thank you, Proxy, for being here and coming.
No problem, man.
Yeah, I will do maybe another show on Sunday. We will see how that goes. We will talk about another subject. This was just an overall about the game, our perspectives and such. The next will be more in depth to certain aspects of the game and visions of viewing and stuff with maybe some other people. If you are interested in actually coming on the show, let me know in Discord if possible, or on Twitch by messaging my name TZKT. And we will actually try to get you on the show at that point. To give your opinion about or your say in this matter. Everybody who actually joined, thank you for joining. I will see you guys next time maybe. And that's it, I think. Hope you guys enjoyed. That was it.
All right.